Welcome back to the DreamHack Beyond Playoffs. My name's Bahamut. We've already gotten through our first best of 3 of the evening, and we are getting into our second. It is going to be Oxygen Esports versus 30K. This is a single elimination bracket, and these are best of 3s. If you'd like to know more about the bracket and what is happening, exclamation point bracket will get you over there. Vulcan, thank you for the follow. Max Lard, thank you for the follow as well. Zagara first ban from the side of 30K, not too surprised by that. Really not surprised by that whatsoever. Zagara just very, very strong in their current state, and it does not look like Simply DK is doing any sort of subbing. Chat, you are full of liars. I'm glad CCL is starting 2 hours earlier in the fall. I'm not. I have to wake up early. No, I'm just kidding. Playing on a team, only in the Academy version of it, so not DreamHack version. Ah, I got you. Yeah, there's got a lot of cool kids here, Captain Jack. Get a lot of cool kids here. Hogger to be banned out as well. With the Cigar, Junkrat, and Blaze. Okay. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. We are heading to Infernal Shrines. This will be first choice over to 30K, so the assumption is 30K won the coin flipped and opted for said first pick priority, as it's going to be a Tychus to kick things off. I'm not playing, so I'm not being flamed. 200 IQ move. I mean, we wanted to do it for the last season, but it was, we also wanted to respect the DreamHack stuff. Not DreamHack, excuse me. The Masterclass stuff. So we didn't want to like things to overlap super bad, so we kept it. But now, we're changing it. Caesar salad beating diamond hands. Yes. Yes. Can I link to the tournament? Exclamation point bracket there, my dude. Exclamation point bracket. Tychus on the right-hand side. We have Avala Brightwing on the left. Do we have any priority onto Diablo? What is our solo? Liam's gonna get a comfort in Urel, and we'll see a Malfurion as well. Okay. Alright. No Lucio for Yasuo. That's fine. Malfurion is really, really strong right now. I wonder what they're gonna play into it. Oh, they could go Stitches. This could be a Stitches composition. But who's gonna play it? Not Dino. I think it'd be Porky. I think Porky's main tanking for 30K. And Dino is probably more ranged assassin damage. Tracer, priority, not a bad ban. I think it's, I honestly think that 30K is gonna go Stitches, unless Oxygen sneaks it and takes the Stitches themselves. That's a possibility. Hey Vita, what's up, bud? How you doing, friend? Posture check? Oh, it's absolutely trash. Alright, ban-wise. Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. I was like, I wonder if it's really necessary to ban out the Uther, but I guess you can get rid of it. They could still go Uther with the Brightwing. We literally just saw it in the last game, if I'm not mistaken, from Can't Censorship, and they won with it on Infernal Shrines. Spoilers. Wow, this is looking like the... Okay, there's the difference. Okay, so we will see a red robot Joanna coming through. Alrighty, I like it. I like it. Not a bad draft from Oxygen. What do the members of 30K round things out with? Sorry, just getting the prediction preset for you all. What is this going to be? I like the Stitches, honestly. Like, you go Stitches and some sort of other burst. Oh, bore it. No. It's really strong. The engagement potential is really good. I just think, like, the Brightwing Polymorph, like, maybe... I still feel like you could have gone for it, but either way. That's... It's all said and done. Let's see what happens here for the last pick, though, from Oxygen. What are they going to prioritize? They still need a little more damage, some wave clear. For the 4-person rotation, Orphea, Jaina, Li Ming. Is it a true mage? Oh, it's gonna be our Tassadar. Okay, the one hero that fell off, came back, and sitting in a weird spot. But either way, Tassadar for that last pick. Alrighty, not bad drafts from either side. Though if I had to lean into a side, I'm trying to think here. Who would I lean into? The Hawk is in a really good spot. Jonah's okay. You know, I would kind of lean into Oxygen. I know that 30K has like a really well-rounded draft. There's like a Wombo. There's so much good there. And I know there's a URL. I have this feeling. I feel like it'd be an Oxygen game. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Y'all can get your Twitch predictions in probably by now. I'm going to assume that it is time for Twitch predictions to go. So I think I should be able to start this on my end, so you should be able to get a prediction of your own in. But either way, here we go into our second best of 3 of the evening. This is going to be, well, I guess you could say it's our round of 8, I think it is. Yeah. Whoever wins this goes up against Can't Censorship. There is no lower bracket to fall into. If you lose, that is the end of your DreamHack Beyond playoffs. So winner of this best of 3 goes on into our third best of 3 of the evening up against Can't Censorship. The loser, I believe, takes 7th place. I actually don't know how everyone's going to fall. I don't know how they're going to split things up between, you know, who takes 7th, who takes 6th, but we'll find out in a little bit. What we got is going to be a game. On the left-hand side, we have the members of Oxygen Esports. We've got Nasmus on the Dahaka, Madara on the Vala, Hebi on the Brightwing, Draded on the Tassadar, and Red Robot on the Joanna. Over in the red, we're looking at 30k. Hazuabs will be on the Falstad, Yasu on the Malfurion, Porky playing the Diablo. We'll see Liam on the Urel, and Dino on the Tychus. Let's get into our mid lane, check out our level 1s, and see what our game is going to look like. Hello, Vita. Hello. Hello, friend. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Repray, how you doing, friend? Good music indeed. What's URL going for level 1? Are we a Dauntless URL? Yes, we are. Of course we are. Sometimes we see the Vindication URLs come through, but not going to be the case here. It is going to be a hammering build for the Falstad, going to be going into that Gathering Storm at level 1. The big thing is this new reward at 30 stacks. Not, oh my god, if it was at level 30, then that'd be just as good as Dishonorable Discharge. But we do have this this extra scaling that you get at at the 30 stacks, dear lord. You also have the amplification of the damage from the Boomerang at level 7. It went from 75% increased to 100%, so nice buff on that one as Madara steps in for another multi-shot onto Porky. Is playing this Diablo. Hazu is going to be throwing a hammering out onto Pirate just to be able to, oh my god, onto Red Robot, to be able to build up a little bit more. Man, it's just, you cast one best of 3 and you forget the next team's entirety of their names, or even what they're playing. I'm still stuck on that last Infernal Shrines game. We do though see Madara and Hebi splitting off to grab the siege camp on the left-hand side. Maybe a slower rotation from 30k. Yeah, they will be doing the same thing. With this little faster grab, I wonder if there's an invade. No, the faster grab goes over to the side of 30k. Potentially, actually. I thought with so many members around it would be, but not the case. Alright. Little shield glare into Dino. And we are going to be going into the Loss of Hope at level 1, so you have the 20% starting, and then for every 10 regeneration globes you get 5% added. So at 20 regeneration globes, you get 30% of your healing over 5 seconds. Condemn onto Hazuab, shield glare. It ain't enough. Almost getting the kill into Hazuabs. Oh, Nasma's trying to read the disengage from Hazuabs to be able to get the tongue drag. Will not connect. Any bops in chat? No, tons of bops in chat. Oh, Madara Heavy. Just gonna get a camp. Ooh, phase shift into bottom lane potentially? Yeah. Gonna maybe... No, they're not gonna... I thought they were gonna be able to invade the camp, but it was already grabbed by Dino and Porky. Misreading the minimap right there. But either way, first objective phase will be here in just a moment. Gonna be a Frozen Punisher for said mid lane. And let's take a look at the blue vision as we're getting into this. We've seen the talents for a little bit. We can continue to see those, but I want to see is the blue vision. Okay, so Fallen Shaman Camp pushed in for the side of Oxygen. We had a couple members showing in mid. Yasu comes up here into this top as well, so it's 3v3. Falstad, Diablo hovering around. He's probably making his way up into this top lane right now. And we're going to stick on this vision for just a second here, just to be able to see what this Oxygen team is seeing as Madara lines up and gets hit by Porky with a Shadow Charge, but no follow-up damage to be able to kill Madara. Just going to have a solid chunk of damage into said Vala, and that's going to be about it. Top lane can't push out, and is going to be the Fallen Shaman in favor for 30k pushing in now. What value does that get? We'll have to find out here in just a second, actually, as the Fallen Shaman does get targeted by the minion wave, but still has those Hellhounds it can summon. Madara backs off as the Diablo doesn't find the overpower onto her. Tongue Drag connects onto Porky, and the Shock Ray from Tassadar will be able to find first blood. Liam trying to equalize. Soothing Mist from Brightwing comes through, and Liam's not able to make anything happen. It's a very close race between these two skeletal defenders. Nazma steps in, but is getting chunked right now. Does he have any essence? Does he have the burrow? Doesn't look like, as he was just trying to back away. Shield Glare onto Dino as he's taking quite a bit of damage. Hammering's out. There's a there was a grenade from Dino as Zavala steps in to try and get that last little bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough. And speaking of last damage, it's also going to be the last few skeletal defenders over to the side of 30k as Liam had his Avenging Wrath interrupted by the Condemned, but it's not. Ooh, Hazuab's your plan of fire right there, but still going to be able to get this Punisher on the side of 30k. Oxygen Esports, what are you able to do with this, my friends? Alright. Punisher, the Punisher jump is eaten by the Iron Skin of Red Robot. Seems like Fort Front Gate to fall. A little bit of damage on the fort from the Punisher. Really good defense from Oxygen overall, I have to say. An insanely good defense from our Oxygen Esports crew, as maybe they were trying to catch the enemy in the rotation top. I think 30k was trying to catch Nasmus in the rotation in the top lane, but Nasmus shows in the bottom lane, seeing Hazuab's there, and I think Nasmus is saying, okay, your global's in bottom, I'm going to be in bottom as well. I'm going to try and match into that the Falstead rotation a little bit. I like the play. I like the call. Very, very succinct from Oxygen, just trying to match into that, so that way, when the next Punisher, top lane, does pop up, Arcane, in about a minute and a half or so, they can use the Brush Talk, Nasmus, and Hazuabs can use the Flight. Nasmus is sitting in this bush, does have vision of this. Hazuabs doesn't know. Nasmus does step in, finds the yoink onto Hazuabs. There will be a cleanse from Yasuo, and Hazuabs is so very low, he's trying to play into this, but he cannot do so as Vala has shown up. Yasuo has to back off as well. Yasuo backing off, the Yasuabs, if you will. I was a streamer once, long ago. Vita? Vita streams from time to time. I've watched his Diablo streams. Don't you think that I don't lurk? I lurk in a lot of streams, actually. I was watching Straubs before I started my stream today. Diablo Shadow Charge into Red Robot in the rotation. Falling Sword Joanna as well. Actually, we've looked at all these talents for a little bit. We've seen some of the scaling. We can check back into those. Let's go ahead and check into the other stuff, which is going to be our damage, healing, and experience. Give me 1 second, I gotta sneeze. Okay. Dear Lord. So Arcane Punisher top lane. 11's up on both sides. Dahaka to clear out, or excuse me, to grab the camp for said top lane. Bruiser camp on the right just now respawning. Is there an invade? Is this also scouted out? Red Robot's trying to do so. It's not going to be enough. We will be seeing the members of 30k move over to the right-hand side, and this is going to be a camp over to said 30k crew. Durell in top lane. Porky down on the warming bench, where else would he be? In-game? No. Brightwing matching Hazuabs. Same thing, same concept as I was saying before, to be able to match into the global. But look at Nasmus. Look at Nasmus maybe coming in for a flank. I don't think Hazuab saw this. Gonna check that bush over to the right-hand side. I think Hazu saw them in this rotation up. They definitely can see each other now. Any tongue drags? No, not gonna be going for it. Top lane, objective phase started out by Liam, and he's gonna start working into this Dino with a grenade comes in. A lot of skeletal defenders already nabbed up from just that combo between Dino and Liam. Nice synergy right there. Did you see the really pretty UI Spaz I was making for casters? I did not. Condemn from Joanna. Just waiting. Waiting to see if Oxygen Esports, like, pulls the trigger, does anything, steps into the enemy side. Because right now it's Red Robot Doing exactly that. Madara and Draded considering it. Red Robot's making the call to step in, but Nasmus comes in. Isolation onto this Malfurion. Falling Sword will be there underneath this Tychus. There will be a gust from Hazuabs to try and dissuade the enemy side, but still gonna find that kill into the Tychus. 32 skeletal defenders remain for, 8 skeletal defenders remain for the side of 30k. Liam considering to jump in, does have Ardent Defender. I've seen Liam do a lot of 1v3ing quite often, but is this going to be one of those situations where he can do that? He is already utilizing a lot of his mana to be able to jump in. Diablo goes in, Shadow Charge onto Nasmus. Lightning Breath, ooh, very nice with that skin. Gonna be cooking Nasmus right now, trying to find those last skeletal defenders, and Liam is able to do this. They just ignore Liam trying to turn things around to Diablo. Condemn from Red Robot. Porky falling low. Souls, can they be reset? Yes, they will be by the Hungering Arrow Vala. We have Dahaka getting the jump back from the Punisher, trying to pull it away from the fort, at least from the, as it was entering into the fort. But Liam actually stepping in right now, feeling pretty indestructible with that mana pool, as well as the Ardent Defender up and available. Vala going to be able to vault away, as we do see this Yrel Liam stepping in once again. Gust from Falstad off a cooldown to push back the enemy team, slow them down. Also, speaking of slows, if you didn't know, Gust has a 40% slow over 4 seconds, so you actually slow down the enemy team as they're also trying to walk back to defend their fort. Really well played from the side of 30k. Really liking how they're playing this objective phase, and actually objective phases, because they did get that first one, pushing in a little bit through mid, but is this a quick rotation to go for? No, they're going for the camp. They're going for the camp. There was a ping onto the well, and I think it's because they want to take out mid lane well, hoping that the next Punisher's mid. We haven't had a Punisher bottom. It's possible that it could be mid again, though. A little hammering over the wall. Porky gonna get hit with the tongue drag. Can he back out? He is silenced with the isolation from Dahaka, throwing a fire stomp back out as he can, and the Impaler camp pretty much mitigated by the side of Oxygen Esports. Big Commandeer Odin, Falling Sword from Red Robot. Does give you that unstoppable if you're underneath it, but also I think Red Robot trying to back off on top of everything. A 16 talent tier is approaching for the side of Oxygen Esports. Funny enough, they're a little bit of ahead in experience while they have lost the map overall, and we'll check on some of that experience right now. Find out where that difference is coming through. Is a couple kills in favor for Oxygen, but is it just those kills? Is there any sort of extra pressure through the minion waves? Was there more camp pressure? We'll find out once we get to that stats page. Right now, it's just going to be showing you that damage with 70,000 siege damage from Liam, 21,000 from Hazuaz, but look at this Vala damage, 36,000, 37,000 nearly. As Dahaka, 76,000 on their siege damage. Well played so far from both teams, and here's that breakdown. So heroic kills, absolutely. Mercenaries kind of mitigates that. There's that minion 4,000 difference between the two sides. That's going to be a big factor into all of this. So we're seeing roughly 2,000 to 3,000 difference between the two teams overall in experience, and that's about a half a level for the side of Oxygen Esports into 30k. And 30k, they're playing this safe, they're playing this slow, and by slow, I mean literally in top lane. Liam just waiting for these waves to come into him, so that way he can clear in front of his gate safely, not going to potentially get picked off by anyone. And that 16 will come through before that mid lane mortar is next. Dahaka scouted out in bottom by Yasu and Dino. Heavy does see Porky come through, and Nasmus tries to back off. Doesn't get the brush or the tap onto the bush. He actually considers jumping back into this engagement because look at the minimap. You have the Tassadar and Vala coming down. Grubby has mentioned this actually in previous weekends of like CCL. He's like, sometimes when you're doing a camp and you see the enemy team, you can look at your minimap and see if anyone's rotating in. If they're not, you should leave. If they are, maybe you can make the play. And it's very true. That's why we saw Nasmus double back in. Porky and crew must have known that rotation was coming out. They might have seen it through the mid lane. Nice play overall. Sergeant Johnny, thank you for the raid. If someone could shout out Sergeant Johnny, that'd be much appreciated. I hope you had a good stream, my friend. I'm assuming it was Heroes, but sometimes other friends come over, so thank you. Thank you, Sergeant Johnny, for the raid. Did he fat finger the Odin, or did he know it would be back in time for the shrine? I would assume it's going to be the latter. I would assume that he knew that the 100 seconds wouldn't be too far off from the objective phase. What does the roll column mean? I don't know what you're asking about. The roll column? As in, like, what role people play in the game? Durell, Righteous Hammer into Nasmus, Red Robot, able to kind of work his way out of this. Okay, there is going to be the tunneling claws from Dahaka from level 16, with that increased movement speed. So increased movement speed while burrowing to 125%, so it's basically 5% slower than mount speed. The baseline on that is 50% movement speed, which is like moving through mud as Joanna has to pop the falling sword to disengage. This is looking like 30k is actually controlling this objective phase, finding the kill into that Joanna. Liam tanking quite a bit of damage. Still has the Ardent Defender off a cooldown. I don't think Ardent Defender's even been used in this game, if I'm remembering correct. And top lane does have that Impaler camp, the Fallen Shaman camp coming through with a catapult dealing 247 damage into structures, which, it's actually doing 247 standard. Into structures, it's doing just sub 500 damage, about 494 if I'm not mistaken. Red, thank you for the tier 1 for 2 months. Much appreciated, my friend. Thank you for the resubscription. I'll resend your alert when we get out of game. Jump from the Punisher onto Madara, who's able to kind of start kiting the Punisher over towards that top lane, towards that mid lane, towards the away from the fort front gate. But this is a quick rotation from 30k. They don't want the keep. They want to open up the map. They want to be able to chase into the enemy side. Hazuabs is able to burst down the lane. He's got 63 stacks on this hammering. What does that damage mean? Well, I can show you right now as we've got 46.5% bonus damage. Right now, that hammering deals 162, and then you got the 193. And keep in mind, you got that boomerang as well. The hammering explosion deals 100% additional damage, and hitting the enemy heroes reduces the spell armor by 15 for 3 seconds. Really like that that talent right now, and liking the changes as well. Diablo gets hit with the tongue drag just as he goes in for the shadow charge. Righteous hammer from Liam comes through, hammering out from Hazuabs as well. Falling sword from Joanna will have that unstoppable value, and it was a defensive falling sword as it is a 50-second cooldown. Not the longest in the world. Punisher, top lane, going to be coming up next. It will be an arcane. JFK, thank you for the follow. I see what you're asking about. I see what you mean. Okay. All right, Hazuabs, you can get 3 more stacks, and that is it for you, my friend, okay? Bottom lane Impaler camp grab. There's a wave here. Commandeer Odin will be coming down. Arcane Punisher next through the top lane. I actually think this might actually time out perfectly with Commandeer Odin once again from Dino, but either way, Red Robot's going to be taking a lot of damage. There will be the Brightwing Phase Shift coming in. Lightning Breath from Diablo. Phase Shift from Brightwing will save Red Robot for now. Tychus goes down, trying to take too many tower shots, or at least taking too many tower shots. Things are falling apart for 30k as this is looking like Oxygen might be able to mop up the enemy side. Shadow Charge onto Madara does give Porky an out as he was in that awkward corridor. Great Force Wall from Draded to lock in Porky. His souls will be reset. Diablo going down with that. And now Liam, well, Liam's just doing Liam things on Urel. I don't think he dies here. You might be saying, but he's all the way in Narnia. Well, he's got Ardent Defender. No, he actually doesn't. He doesn't have Ardent Defender anymore. Still is Liam. LD Bob, thanks for the follow. Glad you're all enjoying the content. Thank you all for such amazing support tonight. Thank you for being here, and thanks for all of the insane raids from all of you. Y'all are so nice. 69 is 50%. Is it really? That's very, very nice. It's extremely nice. That's a very nice stat to know. I thought he had to stop after 69. Look, I don't make the rules. I just try to. Back from my beach run. Hey, what's up, Rob Dog? How you doing, bud? Sorry if I missed anyone, chat. Urel jumps in. Ardent Defender down for 38 more seconds. Little poke from Vala with the multi-shots. Currently at 76 stacks onto that one. Let's just look at really quickly how much damage that is. It's 192 into the 362, so you're like 551 damage. Plus Arsenal damage coming in. Oh, it hurts to get hit by a W if you get hit by that extra grenade as well. Somewhere in the near 700 area. But what is the most important thing? Our Punisher. Another Punisher will be popping up in this top lane, going to be an Arcane Punisher as Nasmus starts working on the Skeletal Defenders, that Dark Swarm value, really able to burn through these. But now, Commandeer Odin comes down, so let's look at everyone's favorite thing, APM. Let's see what happens to this Dahaka. Can he burrow away? Yes. Does he have Essence? Doesn't look like it. Joanna uses the Falling Sword, and Nasmus steps back in for the cleanse. Really not even necessary. Big red button from the Commandeer Odin is going to be coming out as well, zoning back the enemy team. Urel jumps out with a few Avenging Wrath. She actually gets the reset Avenging Wrath over the Force Wall from Tassadar. Draded not able to make a play with that one. Catapults in bottom lane and mounting against the side of Oxygen Esports, as this is still an objective phase. Looking good for our 30k members. Commandeer Odin, big red button, slot of zoning potential. Tassadar, Force Wall, trying to get some value. He did go for that Force Barrier at level 20, trying to get that extra range and also cast, just the cooldown reduction on it, but Wind Tunnel from Falstead forces back the enemy side, and this is the opportunity for 30k to find themselves this objective phase. Awkward Force Wall doesn't find much value. Heaven's Fury from the Falling Sword is going to be really good, and this is looking like it's going to be a double kill, but the Punisher over to the side of 30k. This Punisher should get cleared in lane. Dino, your base is to the left there, bud. Who's got the outplay? Not Dino, unfortunately. So this is going to be Arcane Punisher through top. I'm assuming Red Robot eats like the next jump. No, it's actually going to be Nasmus doing it, pulling them just kind of out a wave down, out awkwardly out of the way. This is kind of interesting, but as I said, I would expect this to be cleared out in wave. Maybe it actually does get some damage onto the structures. What I was realizing as well is there's going to be 30k moving in through mid lane while the enemy was occupied with this Punisher. This is going to be a quick potential, actually just a quick opening up and pressure onto mid lane. Falling Sword onto Hazuabs. He's being chased. Phase shift from Brightwing does come through. Polymorph.
We're dead.
And that is a dead bird. Stalled out death. Punisher does come through top. As I mentioned, not a ton of value, but a little bit more than I was actually anticipating. Been bad about running lately, so the run was a bit harder than it should have been. Oh, no, I get you on that. I get you on that. I do less walks in the winter with Bandit because it's just so snowy that it's dark out earlier, blah, blah, blah. And it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, when I start doing walks in the summer where I do, like, 2 to 3 walks a day, and I'm starting to walk, like, 2 to 3 miles a day, it's like, oh, wow, this is a lot different. I feel that. I feel that. Oldest man in the game with the biggest APM. What, Madara? Sorry. Not even that funny. Anyways, Liam's gonna casually 1v3. He's able to make it out of this. At least I expect him to. Tongue Drag will not connect. Ardent Defender is used. Heals up for the 25% HP that he did lose. Liam, that I mean. Red Robot coming in here. Does have the Falling Sword once again. Force Wall. Awkward push with the Polymorph as well, and the Avenging Wrath popping up. Hazuab's clearing out that mid lane. And this is looking like it is just going to be a little bit of a stall back and forth. CeeLo, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the content. I mean, he did play RTSs, you know? He knows how to push buttons fast, right? That's what an RTS means. If you play an RTS, you know how to push buttons fast. That's all you bring to the team. It's not true at all. They really want this bottom lane forward on the side of Oxygen, and I can't blame them. I really can't blame them for poking in onto this. Yeah, this should be confirmed. Draded has enough damage. Nice play from Oxygen. Brush Talk from Dahaka to the top left. We will be seeing Falstead holding this camp over on the right, waiting for this Frozen Punisher to be announced. All right, we got a little bit of time here. Let's cycle through the other numbers, get you all an idea of the damage healing experience for game number 1 in our second best of 3. So I was trying to see if I can zoom out and show both of them, but we do have the left-hand side already grabbed. Let's actually, if I show vision, then we won't see stats anymore. So I'll show vision maybe a little bit later. Is Madara even half the age of the young boy Hazuabs? No, I don't think so. Wow, look at this cute caster. Hey, Meebus, what's up, bud? Nightbot knows. Yeah, Nightbot. Bless Ektar for making that. Tongue Drag connects onto Diablo. He showed for a second too long. Is that punishable by death? No. It was 70% of Porky's HP. Does he just Hearth for full? I feel like you just Hearth for full and you reset this. Let Liam clear top. You could tap well, I guess. It's not like you have lane sustain in mid, so... Alright. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Little invisible friends in the bush. Liam stepping in, gets the tongue drag from Nasmus once again. Is there enough damage to kill the Urel? She does have Ardent Defender. She doesn't pop it. This is going to be Porky stepping in, Falling Sword with the Heaven's Fury coming up as well. Wind Tunnel from the Falstad coming through. Drady taking a lot of damage in from this Diablo, and Urel actually finds the kill. Porky is the one taking a lot of damage as well on this Diablo. He's trying to back off. Tongue drag will connect onto the Commandeer Odin. That is going to be dropping a big red button nuke onto the ground as well. Liam stepping into the enemy team does not have Ardent Defender for another 107 seconds, which means they used it fairly recently, as it is a 120-second 2-second cooldown. Porky looking to step in. Red Robot getting forced out by Liam. This is a very intense fight because this could be game winning for either side. Who wins this Punisher? Well, we're going to find out here in a second because it is 12-10 in Skeletal Defenders. That Skeletal Defender is rising faster for the side of 30k as the Righteous Hammer does come out. We will see another Falling Sword. Heaven's Fury connecting into 2. Big silence onto a couple members with the contagion value of this Dahaka Nasmus, making the big play set up by this Red Robot. Top lane keep does fall to the Fallen Shaman camp from 30k as it was delayed out a little bit longer. But is this going to be, as I mentioned, the Punisher that ends the game for our blue team? Oxygen Esports, they got a long way to go. They got a hill to climb through this mid lane as the keep from gate is still up and available. And Hazuop's pushing back these lanes at 92 stacks on that hammering. 61%. Vala, let's quickly look at her. 232 plus the 407 damage. She's dealing somewhere in the ballpark of 640 damage. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, 308 extra damage from an Arsenal grenade if that does hit. So somewhere in the near 900 plus range. Actually, over 900 damage from said Arsenal as well. Nasmus, brush talks in. Can they end the game? 10 seconds on Diablo, 8 seconds on this Tychus. Condemn on to Liam. He backs away. Ardent Defender 23 seconds away. Punisher jumps over onto Falstad. Is there a tongue drag to follow up? Nasmus looking for it. Wind Tunnel comes out from Falstad. I think that is enough to disengage the members of Oxygen. With a few members respawning, I don't think you go for this, but they're going to try. Oxygen's going to try and go for core right now. I don't really know if I like this call, and they're realizing the same thing. Great phase shift from Brightwing. Excuse me. Blink heal from Brightwing. Porky's Shadow Charge being interrupted by the Invisible Friends value. Just stop by to say you're killing it. Enjoyed you on ITN. Oh, thank you so much, Ryan. Much appreciated. Glad you're enjoying the content. And thanks for the kind words.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Must be full of kids tonight. I'm older than Hazu watching him rip on his age. Look, you could be 1 year older than someone. In Twitch chat, you're ancient. You're always ancient in Twitch chat. Like, if I say I'm 30, people are gonna be like, oh my god, he's dead. You need a replacement caster. He's so old. That's just Twitch chat for you. Alrighty, excuse me. Little sneezing fit. Tried to mute my mic. Hopefully it didn't come through. Esports player have a rather small half-life. Being 25-year-old is considered old, that's why. I mean, I don't know. I got no counter-argument. I don't know people's ages. I was hoping something would pop off before I talked about it, but either way. Let's see, Joanna. Jesus, there's so much scaling on this. You have 45%. 45% of 6,700. So you're healing somewhere like around 3,000 HP over 5 seconds? Jeez. Good talent for this late game scaled game. Or late scaling game. There we go. Words. Baja's ancient. See, there it is. Might as well retire, everybody. Might as well use the 401k value I got. Exactly, Stark. Exactly. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good and fun. I don't know what is it like. Age in Twitch chat, age in esports. It's just it's always a joke. Except for like some of those really young players. Like those young players, they're like, whoa, geez, you are very good. And it's like, oh, what was it? Oh my god. Ucky. Ucky is like very, very young and started playing HOTS like just this year or something like that. It's just like, all right, a lot of talented young people out there. I'm just saying. Meanwhile, I'm ancient. I'm on death's door, so I cast the game. It's like when you play high school football and you still want to be a part of high school football when you're done with high school football, so you go and start coaching it. That's where I am at. Except I was never good at high school football. AKA esports. I just like doing commentary. I love doing commentary for esports. So thank you all for hanging out. All right, let's see what happens here with this Punisher. For funsies, let's go ahead and look at that APM once again, because we are 28 minutes in this game. This Punisher could end the game for either side. a good team fight could end the game for either side. There's a win condition through mid for the side of Oxygen, a win condition through top and bottom for the side of 30k. And Hazuob's trying to force that lane up with that bright way, or with the false step. But right now, Nasmus gonna slow things down in the top lane. Does burrow into the ground. There's a lot of chunk damage from Hazuob's as well on that false stat, as he has 112 stacks on that hammering. Keep in mind the level 7 Boomerang doesn't amplify that damage even further. Anyways, Porky getting locked in with this Force Wall from Tassadar, and he does have that Force Barrier at level 20, so watch many Force Walls come out during this team fight. Hazuob's and Nasmus have a little 1v1. Seems like Hazuob's is winning out overall, but there's going to be an Ardent Defender used by this Ural. Big red button coming out from the Commandeer Odin, but that is going to expire right now. We have Dino trying to get a lot of damage in. Hazuob's flies on in. He does have the Wind Tunnel. It's going to be coming out right now. There's a Falling Sword from the Johanna. There's a lot of damage into Porky. His souls will be reset. Hazuob's trying to finalize the last few Skeletal Defenders, but now Oxygen, are they going to go core? Are they going to try and end? Diablo did respawn. Yes, they are going to try and go core. No, they're not going to try and go core. They're going to defend their own. Will the members of 30k be able to end this? Some catapults in top lane already taking down the initial shielding. Bottom lane, look at the setup. Maybe trying to catch someone? No, they're going to just meet the Punisher and continue to push in the lanes. This is terrifying right now, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to be seeing a Punisher dealing 255 damage standard and double that into structures, a little over 500, it's actually 510 damage. Mid lane, core is falling on the side of 30k. As we have some catapults coming through. Diablo, Shadow Charge into this Tongue Drag Dahaka. He tunneling claws away. Punisher taking a bit of damage right now. Core on the right-hand side already falling from those catapults that did arrive to the right-hand side, but those were cleared out by said catapults from the side of 30k. This core for the Oxygen team is starting to lose its shielding. Punisher jumps over. Wind Tunnel from the Falstad. Falling Sword from the Johanna coming through. Punisher working on Nasmus, as Hazuob's looking to finalize the damage onto the core, and it is going to be game number 1 over to the side of 30k. GG, well played. A tense game number 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to run to the bathroom, BRB, and then I will pay out the people.
You up for some cake and pie later, buddy?
I will follow you to the end of the world. Subscribed.
Alrighty, sorry about that, everyone. Apparently, it's also storming up here. We had a 5% chance for it to storm, and I had to open up some windows because it is 80 degrees in the hallway, so it is like 85, so like 30 Celsius in my stream room. All right, let's pay the people. Choose an outcome prediction. Which team wins Infernal Shrines? It was 30k. Did win the first game. 30k did win that game. Let me double check that I did not miss a lobby. No, we're good. Aki started playing HOTS professionally this year. Why'd you capitalize professionally? Oh my god, I can feel the cold air already coming in here. Okay. Alright. While we're hanging out, let me tell you all about what I do stream schedule-wise. Let's talk about my stream schedule while we hang out here getting ready for our next lobby. Let's also update the team score as well. Team score is that. If you'd like to know about the bracket, what other teams are playing, etc., exclamation point bracket will get you over to the Liquipedia for this. So stream schedule. Tomorrow, I will be starting stream. I usually have to do a little CCL work, but usually I start stream around noon PDT. So that's noon PDT, 3 EDT, and 21 CEST. No, that's 19 CEST. So that'll be tomorrow. I'm going to do quick match games where viewers choose my hero. That's usually my warm-up before I play Storm League. I play Storm League with Memory, Iron Flare, Totski, and Warak. We play that from about 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock my time PDT, so that'll start 3 hours in the stream. Wednesday is a little bit of a variety day. We might do Pokemon Unite. I might just play more heroes. I'm not actually sure which one I want to do. But then we're going to do some Dead by Daylight with some friends later. Totski, Alex Diz, and Day will be swinging by for that. Thursday will be an early morning stream. I will be casting some Heroes Lounge replays, so I hope you all come by for that one on Thursday morning. I don't know the start time just yet, but it will be early because I have to do some CCL stuff. I have to double check on if I need to be there, but probably. And then Friday, early morning Hollow Knight stream, as I do have some CCL award show stuff for that Friday. And then Saturday, CCL award show at 1 o'clock PDT, 4 o'clock EDT, 22 CEST. Sunday is my day off. I may or may not take the day off because I am going on vacation next week, but Monday next week I will be streaming, as well as Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So long streams next week. We got a couple fun streams this week. I hope you all are hanging out and having a good time. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. We are going to be having a few more games as well. Let me get ahead and get into our next lobby, as that is ready to go. And yeah, we just get the players in here. Gildan Grode, thanks for the follow. That's not how we say your name. Weather's crazy everywhere. I almost got a straight link earlier today. I could smell the burning ozone. Holy Jesus. I hope you're okay, Root. Kane the Pain, thanks for the follow. Good name. Good name, Kane the Pain. Oof. And thank you to Spaz for joining the Discord server. Much appreciated. So I am ready. Caster R, Spooky Worm. Yeah, I'd be terrified by that. The thing that I'm most terrified is that fires. If anyone doesn't know about fires in the United States, there's a Tamarack fire. It is a few miles south. It's like 30 miles south of me, but the smoke's pretty bad. It's blowing to the east, which is okay. It's not blowing up towards us, but we're getting a thunderstorm. It's dry. Whoa! O'Malley, thank you for the 500 bits. Holy jeez. Thank you.
Can win, and it can. And I'll still be here tomorrow.
Did we vote on whether or not you go on vacation? We probably should have. I'm anxious to go on vacation. Not streaming for 9 days? What will I do?
He 30k, he 30k, he 30k.
Thank you, O'Malley, for the 500 bits, and thank you for cheering on 30k. But I think you can all hear what's happening in the background, so let's go ahead and get on into this draft as we are here into Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 2. And thank you again, O'Malley, for the 500 bits. Thank you so very much for the support. Glad you're enjoying the content, as we do have this Urel Blaze band on the left-hand side, Zagara and Junkrat on the right. I think Baja would look very distinctive with a little gray in his beard. I'm actually a little excited for the day that I become older and that happens. Honestly, I think it will look good too. It was light drizzling here, which is the same in Southern California. Yeah, Star Color, it's lightly raining in Tahoe, which is absolute insanity for the summer in general. Hogger, first pick for the side of Oxygen into Tomb. Not a bad idea at all, but this is going to be a Blaze Urel ban from Oxygen with a Zagara Junkrat from 30k. What's the opening pick from 30k? Also to note, we had Oxygen first picking, which means that as the losing team, they opted for first pick, while we have 30k choosing to take us to this map. Vala Leork to start things out. Incoming Cho'Gall. Coming home to a burned down house is always a fear of mine. Yeah, I work and I live out. I live out of my house, but I work. I work from home. I don't leave the house an insane amount, like for super long periods of time, or like an entire work day. Knock on wood, luckily, because y'all let me do this and support me. But yeah, I still watch like fires every single day just to make sure that I don't have to like pack everything up and go. I have like a whole game plan. Like, what's the priority? There are 2 priorities. There's a box with like my passport, my social security, like all the important documents. Like, that's like the one thing I have to grab. Like, it's like bandit first, that box second, and then computer third. Those are like the 3 things that I'm grabbing and then getting out. Everything else is moderately replaceable, except for some band t-shirts that, you know, no longer are bands, but that's it. Living band t-shirts, it's kind of hard to argue, but either way, let's get into the draft right now. Let's talk about something fun like Heroes of the Storm, as we do have this Hogger, Stukov, Hanzo for Oxygen, Vala, Leoric for 30k. What is 30k going for? Are they leaning into a Deathwing potentially for this map? I haven't seen a lot of Deathwing, but there's no like, I mean, actually you could go auto Hanzo and really chunk into Deathwing and make his life miserable. I don't think it's going to be a Deathwing, actually. There's just too many good options outside of a Deathwing to be even playing into this. Like, Diablo was good. Stitches is very good. Oh my god. 30k with a really terrifying composition. Because I was like, what's the play for the Leoric? Is it the Diablo for the easy bake oven? Is it the Deathwing for the easier bake oven? Because you don't need to take the Lightning Breath at 10. You can just go for the Molten Flame value, and you can go Molten Flame build, Conflagration at 16, shreds through people, Entomb plays into that well. But this is going to be a Hook, Stun, Entomb, Vala, Burst. Cool. Like it a lot. Let's see. Last 2 picks for the side of Oxygen. Joanna Tychus. Lot of really good sustained damage, burst abilities there. Oxygen with a pretty good draft, but a more terrifying draft in my opinion from the side of 30k. What do they wrap up this draft with? What is the last thing that they're going to pick for the side of 30k to amplify this draft? Zool time? Oh, Zool would be good. I'd love to see a Zool for 30k, but I feel like they need a little extra wave clear. And Hanzo. Falstead's going to offer that. Falstead is definitely going to be able to offer a lot of really good wave clear. This is looking like a really good draft for 30k. I honestly don't know who I'd give this over to. Let's see. Twitch predictions. I have to wait a few seconds on this, but which team wins Tomb of the Spy? Cool. Alrighty, I'm gonna try and wait as long as I possibly can for this for these picks to go through and everything like that. So either way, let's bring it back to Bandit Nice Cute Faces, and let's see what happens. You like the Tyrande pick? Tyrande did get a buff in the most recent patch. All right, Twitch predictions are going. I'll get you back over to this screen so you can see what's happening. And best of luck to everybody. Good luck on your Twitch predictions. I'm leaning 30k. Like if I was betting in my own channel, if I could do that, I would lean into 30k. I really like their draft overall. It scales super late, and you got that Stitches. But here we go into Oxygen Esports. Why nobody don't play Hero of Storm? Yeah, nobody's playing the game. Nobody. I'm just casting AI right now. Oxygen Esports in the blue. We got Heavy on the Stukov Hooten. We got Nasmus on the Hogger. Derated on the Tychus. Madara on the Hanzo. And Red Robot playing the Joanna. Over in the red, we're going to be seeing 30k. This is a best of 3 series. No double elimination. Single elimination bracket. You lose this game, bye-bye. That is all of your DreamHack Beyond playoff games. The winner of this goes up against Can't Censorship in our next best of 3. We got Porky on the Stitches. We got Dino on the Tyrande, Hazwabs on the Falstad, Yasu on the Tyrande, and Liam on the Leoric. Now, I believe Madara got hit by the Sentinel, so GG, well played. That is going to be a game over to the side of 30k. Sorry to all the Twitch predictors. Wow, no believers in Oxygen. Unfortunate. No believers in Oxygen. Not even, okay, there it is. There's, I was like, somebody's got to try and capitalize on what if Oxygen has the outplay? What if they just, the hooks never connect from Porky? Well, I say that as Red Robot gets hooked by that one right there, but it was an easy hook. It was totally an easy hook, but Nasmus looking to maybe put some pressure onto the backline here. Not going to be going for a spin. Leoric and Tychus. It's a rough time for Leoric, so he's actually going to be sitting in the bush. I thought he was actually playing into Tychus, but Derated is actually going to try and play more into said Leoric. I like this call from Oxygen, trying to make Liam's life a lot more difficult in the wave clear and in just rotations in general. Speaking of rotations, top lane, hook on to Heavy. Nice sidestep of the Sentinel as well as the Lunar Flare, so not going to be able to get that kill. Falstad flies into bottom lane. Draded's going to be the target. He overextended, trying to think he had the outplay into this Leoric, but it's going to be the outplay into the outplay, and Draded goes down. First blood over to the side of 30k, as we are going to be seeing Fire at Will for the Vala. We will be seeing that Gathering Storm for the Falstad, but now Ranger for this Tyrande. Sentinel pierces the first hero hit. Its width is increased by 25%, and it deals 250% more damage based on distance traveled. Curious, is there a signifier for that? Hold on one second. I'm trying to see if, like, is there a marker, like, oh, if it travels this far, like it's increased. Okay, anyways, kind of like Hanzo. Like Hanzo, if you hold down R with drag and arrow, you're able to see like the progression of like how far it has to travel to get the extra seconds of stun. If I'm not mistaken, there's like little ticks within the actual line itself. But either way, Porky backing off does use that Shambling Horror, that activatable that he does have on his. Well, I guess it's his trait, realistically. And we do continue just to see Skeletal Defenders, excuse me, gems to be picked up across the map. Another Sentinel through the middle right there. Liam, he can't see Draded going for the turn-in, but he is actually able to wait for Nazmus to push up this wave. But Nazmus playing this lane slow, knowing that Draded's waiting around, and Liam has to play this lane back. I like the call from Liam, but I also love the call from Draded and Nazmus trying to find some sort of pressure in the off lane where they really want it. Like, that's the big thing too. Nazmus face checks the bush, doesn't get hit by the Sentinel, or not the Sentinel, the Lunar Flare. Doesn't get stunned, I guess is a better way to put it, because he is in that hog wild form. And turn availability nearing for the side of 30k. So 2 full AI teams actually do something besides sit in their base? Yeah. I've actually used that as a testing thing. I had the joy and the pleasure of checking out the Elgato Wave, and what I did was I set up my Yeti microphone, the Elgato Wave, and my current XLR microphone that you're hearing me on, my Rode NT, I think it is. I set all 3 of those up next to each other. I put them on 3 different audio tracks, and I basically casted an AI game because I couldn't tell people I was doing it, so I just casted an AI game, and I sent that to Elgato so they could utilize the difference between the 3 audios and compare them. I don't know if it actually helped any of their market or research, but it was just a really cool thing that I got to do. So, yeah. You can totally do custom AI games and they'll play against each other. It's super awkward. They for some reason the AI loves to draft Probius. Like, AI loves to draft Probius for some reason. It's like a hot pick. Like, it's a hot priority pick often for the AI. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. There's no set distance? Oh, okay. So not much difference than my Storm League teams. Got it. Exactly, John Mill. Exactly. Alrighty, Red Web Weavers are going to descend. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at some of the other numbers. Let's cycle through what we have for damage healing experience. Hook onto Nazmus, but he sidesteps that follow-up Lunar Flare was there from Yasu. Unfortunately, Porky not able to make the connection on that hook. Now mid lane, making a rotation back into Red Robot. He's going to be able to back off a little Hungering Arrow chase. And this mid lane gets pushed in. Hogger, trying to clear out bottom lane. Leoric is pushing up a little bit through there. Top lane already being cleared out by the Tychus actually quite effectively. Joanna pops the Iron Skin. She's able to get behind the gate. This is a Webweaver phase that doesn't get a ton of value, I feel. Madara gets hooked, but he gets the agility over the wall. Red Robot steps into the enemy team's face. Yasu continuing to auto out, and this is looking like it's an A-OK engagement for the side of Oxygen. They're not really losing out a ton here. Hammering out from Falstad does poke at some of these towers a little bit. Bottom lane, I want to peek really quickly. Not a ton of value. Yeah, like a full gate in mid. Yeah, 2/3 of the gate and top, if you're counting the gate as 1 and the towers as 1 each as well. Dino trying to multi-shot out. Madara chunking in. Hook doesn't connect from Porky. And Leoric continues to soak up bottom lane. 40 gems in the pocket for our 30k members, but we have gems available for turn-in for our blue team. Hogger didn't go for the infinite spin. Unless he canceled it early because he was maybe going to bounce off that wall awkwardly. Didn't see the lineup onto that one, but either way, turn-in is here, ready for Oxygen. Oh my god, the Hungering Arrow. Oh, the Sentinel. Oh, the Hammering. But really, it's Oh Heavy. Oh Heavy's the one who's hooting and keeping this Hanzo alive. Well played right there from our Stukov player on the side of Oxygen. 10 talent tiers are through. Gorge Stitches, not surprising. Hook onto Heavy. Oh, a little miscommunication to Yasu, but where is the damage? There's the damage, actually, from Rain of Vengeance from the Svala. Heavy's going to be the target, and he does go down. That's going to be a few gems on the ground. I believe Joanna did pick up quite a few of them, but gets hooked by Stitches immediately. He doesn't even have the hook range increase yet. Hanzo Arrow going to narrowly miss a few members right there, and this is looking like it's actually turn-in now, back over to the side of 30k. They didn't have enough for a turn-in, but through a few kills, they find some extra gems. Hazuab's able to soak up as well, get a few of those gems as well from these spooters, and this is another turn-in through Hazuab's. Scatter Arrow's not going to be enough. Good try, though, from Madara. Very good try. The AI draft never uses Diva Self-Destruct, just like a Nubrak AI never uses Swarm. It's not that they can't, it's just that it's not the right moment. That's totally it. It's just not the right moment. Let's look really quickly. Hook. Honestly, when I'd be casting CCL, if there was a Stitches, I just left Stitches' portrait in the bottom left of my screen because I was like, when's Hook? Because that was a big question always. It was just like, if Hook's off cooldown, how does the positioning look? And this is the positioning when Hook is off cooldown. You're absolutely seeing the aggressiveness from 30k's draft right now as the second Web Weaver phase does come through the lanes. Hazuab still working on that first half, or I guess the first section of the questing portion. He's still working on the questing portion of this hammering. There we go. That's the better way to put it, as he's at 25 out of 30. Multi-shots from Vala as she's trying to kite backwards. Big arrow from Hanzo coming through. This corridor is a great place for the Hanzo player as the Falling Sword comes through. Red Robot trying to slow down the enemy team, but he gets chunked very heavily. Falstead trying to find the last little bit of damage. Some healing coming out here and there, but it's not going to be enough. There will be a Hog Wild from Hogger, and he finds the most epic spin. Nasmus gets the perfect spin to disengage. What a lineup to get out of there. Oh my god, the hook over the wall, the Gorge. Where's the follow-up? Lunar Flare should be off cooldown. Not going to be read very well, but it doesn't matter. Gems on the ground, gems zoned. That's 30-some gems on the ground. That's a rough go for the members of Oxygen as they are getting chunked through this Tomb of the Spider Queen map number 2. Oh, are you guys talking about tornado stuff? That stuff's terrifying. The one thing that I was just like, I luckily never had to experience living like 26 years in Michigan. But man, the earthquakes that have been out here. I had my first like near 6.0 earthquake that was like I'm trying to remember. It was like 40 miles, like 60 kilometers, like something like that. Not too far from me, and like the power lines were shaking. Like I was sitting outside and I could like hear the house like legit shaking. I could hear all like the wood moving around. It's creepy. It's such a disorienting thing because when you finally realize it's happening, it's just disorienting. It's just so weird. Like you don't realize like, oh, I need to get underneath the door frame till like you're like, oh shit, this is an earthquake. Like you're like, why is everything just weird all of a sudden? Is there a bear on my roof? Unfortunate Hogger gets picked off right there. I believe that was off of the Gorgeous Stitches. Yes, absolutely, because it's a 65-second cooldown and looking around that 62 seconds right there. You also have a Gorge time of 4 seconds overall. So the Orc in bottom lane, oh, he's going to be able to get away. Nice harsh moonlight, harsh moonlight from the Tyrande. And that actually, the Entomb forces the Falling Sword. But they're, if I'm not mistaken, the exact same cooldown. 50 seconds and 50 seconds. Vala casually, working on boss on her own, Dino. And no one's scouting this. Though I do want to jump onto the blue vision really quickly. Do they see the Stitches or anyone moving into this top lane to go help out Vala? No. No one is actually seen rotating into top lane. This is a really, really good feign. And Tyrande actually sneaks up here out of vision. Really well played from 30k. Like vision things like this is huge. Like, because I think the realization is like, oh, they're on boss now. I feel like this is the moment where Oxygen would be like, they're on boss. I don't think that it would be any sooner, because if it was sooner, they wouldn't have gone for that mid lane camp. They would have immediately rotated up because there was no 16 talents here on the opposing side. At least that's my thought on it. That's going to be Hook on to Hogger. Another Gorge onto him. Gus from Falstead forces back the enemy team. Liam with the Entomb if necessary. Falling Sword will be utilized by the Joanna, and she is out of disengaged tools. Liam is going to be able to drain a little bit of HP. Red Robot, this is what I was saying. You got no disengaged tools. She's going to try and run through the enemy side, but it's not going to work out. Joanna goes down. Secondary kill as boss comes through top. That's a huge hook on to this. Tychus, as there's enough for a turn-in, and the boss just got top lane fort. You go for turn-in, you go for at least a keep off of this. This is insanely well played from the side of 30k. Well played rotations, good momentum. Can they take map number 2 with this? You don't like the Hogger pick on this map? Why not? But the Hogger pick on this bot, in my opinion. Okay, butt spot, shut up. Blind hook? Maybe not that blind. Maybe actually seeing a few members in top lane getting that wave clear, but Porky's just A-okay. Porky's just fine. You got that level 1, excuse me, you got the level 1, the Patrick creation. Just, there you go, Patrick creation. DJ Khaled in this. another one. Oh my god, that was good. Falstead with the play, and Leoric with the setup into that. Leo, the Entomb, Heavy gonna try and use the flailing swipe, but he is caught between a wall and an Entomb. Falstad moves into top lane. He's actually going to push up with the Webweaver. That is going to be around 20-30% or so on the HP. This mid lane Webweaver a little bit below 50%. Should be able to find the keep here. I would expect this to be Falstad actually pre-pushing the top lane, so this is going to be double keep. Easily double keep. Do they go core? No. Dino's positioning would lead me to believe so, but you need a kill or two off of this hook. Draded not going to get hit by that, but Red Robot needs to back off. No falling sword for 12 seconds. Top lane, Hazuab's found the keep. The Webweaver approaching with no HP. Hazuab's actually making the call to go core. No. No, he's not. Lever is going to be able to reduce some damage. Hook goes out. Oh, the helping hand does not work out. Hanzo rips the arrow, gets the stun. Falling sword comes through. Is there a turnaround from the side of 30k? Multi-shot almost finds the kill into Joanna, but she pops the Iron Skin just in time. Porky, what is your cooldown on the hook? It is going to be 1 second away. No 20 talents here just yet. Hook goes out. Hanzo going to get hit. Gorge immediately. Is there a lunar flare right there? Well read from the entirety of the team. Selexia, thank you for the tier 1 for 21 months. I'll resend your alert when we get out of game. Thank you for the support, my friend. I hope you are well. 30k looking to open up the map completely and grab themselves this bottom lane keep. Don't feel like it's completely necessary, but they also might be able to force an enemy to, they might be able to force Oxygen to step up and make a misplay, and that might be a staggered death that could yield a core. There's a Red Robot hook. No lunar flare to follow up, but still a lot of slam jam value from that pulverize. Not only does it have a slow, but it also has an armor reduction. Entomb onto the Tychus. He pops the Commandeer and trying to turn things around. Falstead flies in. Gus from the Falstead will save Liam for now. He's trying to Spectral Leech himself back to full HP. It ain't gonna work out, and that's a few gems dropped on the ground. I believe that's 5, 10, 15, like 15, 20 gems that fell from the Leoric, if I'm not mistaken. So half the turn in for the side of 30k. Arrow, big arrow. Detours. All right, so arrow is released from Hanzo across the map. How do you use his frenzy here to get gems? His spin move? What, the Hog Wild? Well, he's got his burning loot horde. I might be misunderstanding what the question is, so I'm gonna keep casting. 20 talents here over on the right-hand side. Upgrade on Shadowstalk. We will see the Buried Alive. Vala going for the Farflight Quiver, so she's got like 8.2 range when she does max out on, or 8.25 when she maxes out on that Hatred, but I believe it's 7.7, just baseline increase, or it increases from 6.6 to 7.7 if I'm not mistaken. Master Hooker for Stitches makes sense. Wind Tunnel from the Falstead, so a lot of pretty standard heroics here. Or excuse me, level 20s. Hortapult in from the Hogger. He's going to try and bounce around. There's going to be a big Falling Sword as well from the Joanna. She doesn't have the Heaven Sphere. There's going to be a Wind Tunnel from the Falstead, pushing back a few enemy members. Madara very low on the left-hand side of your screen, and that's a huge yoink for the Leoric as he sets up the kill into Hogger with that Buried Alive. Well played, and Liam just wants to go core. They want to move into the next matchup up against Can't Censorship. Is it possible? Well, Hanzo goes down to, I believe that was a snipe from the Sentinel from Tyrande. Yasu getting that snipe, and that also probably will be a reset on the ability because I think that was changed in the most recent patch. Bottom lane keep falls. Core is being sieged. Gorge onto this Stitches, or excuse me, onto this Stukov, as we will see a very low Liam actually turn things around to the Joanna, and the core will fall. That's going to be game number 2 over to the side of 30k. The members of our two teams are just speedrunning tonight's games. Celexia, thank you for the 21 months. Thank you for the tier 1, my friend. Very much appreciate it.
I will follow you to the end of the world. Subscribe.